Hello, sports fans, and happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show. I'm your host, sports reporter Dominic Polio. I know why you're here, so we're going to get right into it. The Battle of Point Pleasant, it happened last Friday. It was electric. If you got stuck outside because you came way too late to get in, I've got highlights for you. If you were there and you cheered on your team, I've got highlights for you. If you witnessed it all, I still have highlights for you. So here's the bout by bout highlight of this year's Battle of Point Pleasant. Enjoy. In front of a packed gymnasium last Friday, the Point Borough and Point Beach wrestling teams went head-to-head in this year's Battle of Point Pleasant. It did not disappoint as the two teams split bouts 7-7 and the match was decided in the final weight class. But before we get there, let's start from the top. The match opened with an exciting 126-pound bout between Borough's Ty Bailey and Beach's Jude Lovegren. The second period ended tied at 2 and Lovegren earned a takedown in the third, but Bailey managed an escape and a takedown for the decision win. At 132, Roddy Rupp took care of Borough's Ben Gilmore with an 8-2 decision victory. Spencer Robinson answered for the Panthers with a major decision victory over Jared Holler at 138. The 145-pound weight class brought the match's first pin. John McTaggart wrestled Beach's Jason Sherlock and after establishing a lead managed to work him over for the second period pinfall. Jimmy Sherlock followed suit with a decision win over John Duggan at 152, and Beach's Jason Bowers worked his way to a major decision win over Matt Solzer at 160, which brought Beach within 3 of Borough's lead. At 170, Sean Gould took an early lead over Borough's Ryan Sansone, but Sansone was relentless. He earned an electrifying pin that really got Borough's crowd going. Beach was down 9, but far from out. Jack Baker wasted no time beating Dylan Ippolito at the 182-pound matchup. Baker won by pin before the close of the first period. The 195-pound bout was another exciting one and was decided in sudden victory. Beach's Cody Liguori and Borough's Billy Borowski ended the third period tied at 1. Liguori took a shot and almost had Borowski, but the Panther was able to turn the tables for the takedown on the edge. Borough's Gabe Fatizzi then went up against Nick Kemier in the night's longest match. The 220-pounders were tied 1-1 after 3 and remained tied through sudden victory. Fatizzi chose defense and Kemier opted for neutral, giving Fatizzi the 2-1 lead in the first 30-second overtime. Kemier tied it with an escape in the next 30-second OT, and then eventually won 3-2 with another escape in ultimate tiebreaker. The decision win pulled Beach within 3, 22-19. The heavyweight bout had an exciting finish with Beach's Cade Watkins building a 3-1 lead over Anthony Bonavito after 2. Bonavito earned an escape, and with seconds left in the final period, Bonavito scored a big takedown on the edge. Watkins worked hard and fast as the clock wound down. The Garnet Gull scored a reversal for the 5-4 win, which tied the match at 22. Will Jarvis then worked Borough's James Laytendorf over in the 106-pound bout, but the Panther proved hard to pin. Jarvis won by major decision to give the Gulls a 26-22 lead with 2 weight classes left. At 113, Borough's Ben Sable also had a tough time securing a pin as Mike Duffy worked tirelessly against the Panther. But in the final period, Sable finally got the angle he needed and worked Duffy to his back for the pin with 8 seconds left on the clock. With Borough up 28-26, the match came down to the 120-pound weight class. Borough's Tyler Tweedy, a senior, versus Beach's Jesse Bowers, a freshman. The first period finished 0-0, but a Tweedy escape in the second provided the bout's first lead. Bowers proved tough and escaped in the third to tie it up. But with 17 seconds left, Tweedy worked around Bowers for the 2 points. Bowers never stopped working and managed an escape and 2 quick shots before the wrestlers went out of bounds, with 2.6 seconds left on the clock. Watch how the final seconds played out. And there you have it, folks. The Panthers topped the Garnet Gulls 31-26 on a Tweedy victory in this year's Battle of Point Pleasant. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. Congrats to both Point Borough and Point Beach for putting on a great show, a great display of athleticism, and really bringing 2 great communities together for one great night on the mats. We're sticking with the Battle of Point Pleasant because there's part 2 that happened the very next day. The basketball teams went head-to-head. Last year, Point Beach beat out Point Borough. This year, the result was a little bit different. Again, I've got the highlight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Point Borough's Memorial Middle School Gymnasium was packed again come Saturday afternoon as the Point Borough and Point Beach basketball teams tipped off in the Battle of Point Pleasant Part 2. The Panthers avenged last year's loss with an exciting 50-45 win over the Garnett Gulls. Borough won the tip and Jack Waddleton drained a three for the game's first points. Beach answered with a layup and John Venturi knocked down another Borough three in response. Beach's Chris Pena nailed a three of his own, and the two teams were back and forth in the first quarter, but the Gulls ran into foul trouble early. Jake Lorenzo was assessed a technical and joined Pena on the bench. Borough stayed out in front, but Luke Fraunheim hit a running floater to pull Beach within 19-15 at the end of one. The second quarter was sloppy for both teams as Beach outscored Borough 5-3. No points were scored in the last 5 minutes of the quarter, and Borough went into halftime with a 22-20 lead. Pena and Lorenzo returned to action in the third as the 2-point teams exchanged leads. Pena hit a shot from downtown for the 28-27 lead, but it didn't last long as Borough closed the third with a 6-0 run. Beach's Danny Fraunheim put together a one-man run to start the fourth, scoring 7 straight points for another Beach lead. But the Panthers were on the prowl for a win. They continued knocking down baskets to retake that lead. Beach kept fighting as well, and Trevor Covey hit a three-pointer to pull his team within 42-40. Later, with 48 seconds left, Venturi hit 2 out of 3 from the charity stripe, and Covey answered with a layup to keep it close. Venturi hit 2 more at the line, and then Waddleton looked to ice it with a few more. But he missed his first on a 1-and-1, and Beach quickly moved down the court. Pena delivers the big three, cutting Borough's lead to 1. Beach fouled, and Venturi was again solid from the line. He made 2 for the 3-point lead. Beach was unable to hit a three to tie, and Waddleton pulled in the rebound and was fouled. He knocked down 2 more foul shots to seal Borough's win against crosstown rival Point Beach 50-45. Well, all I've got to say is it was a fantastic rivalry-packed weekend. Point Borough versus Point Beach versus Point Borough. It really doesn't get any better than this. Until next year, I cannot wait for the next Battle of Point Pleasant. Still have 2 more highlights for you, and we're going to transition to ice hockey. The Panthers hosted the Warriors of Manasquan Monday night in a makeup game of a game that was canceled earlier this season. It also set the stage for an eerily similar situation to last year when the Panthers faced Manasquan on senior night. I will have you know that this outcome is a little bit different than last year. The Point Borough ice hockey team finally got the opportunity to face off against Manasquan, a game that was canceled earlier this season due to lack of referees. It was the Panthers' senior night game, and they did not disappoint, beating the Warriors 8-5. The first goal came early as Ryan Carr picked the pocket of Mark Grogan. Connor Murray tried to save the play, but Chris Miller scooped the loose puck and found the back of the net for the goal. Borough's next score was another steal for Carr, but this time the senior finished himself. The first period was almost over, but Borough wasn't done yet. Eric Dahl gets his first of the game with nice placement over the Warriors goalie. Borough was up 3-0 after 1, and Manasquan was frustrated. But not necessarily out of the game yet. Nick Ventura cleans up a loose puck around goal to get Manasquan on the board early in the second period. Halfway through the second, Brett Nelson sneaks one in to put the Panthers back up 3, but the Warriors played big to close out the second. Ventura scored his second of the night to cut the deficit in half. Then, before the second period came to a close, Mitch Grogan flung in a loose puck as the Panthers were helpless. With only 1 period left, Borough was clinging to a 1-goal lead. The Panthers were able to pull away in the final period as Matt Kimack teamed up with Carr to steal the puck here. Carr went the distance and finished strong at the net. That goal came 1 minute into the third and was followed by a one-timer for Dahl. It happened so fast that even slow motion makes it tough to see, but it was a goal and it put Borough ahead 6-3. Another well-placed shot from the junior who still had 1 more in him. After a beautiful pass from Matt Kimack, Dahl finishes the play at the net for the hat trick, the first of his career. Carr scored Borough's last goal for his own hat trick, and Manasquan trailed by 5 but managed 2 more goals before game's end. The last goal belonged to Murray, who sneaks one just inside the post from around the side of the net. But in the end, Borough closes out the 8-5 win on senior night. Very nice win for the Point Borough ice hockey team. Congratulations to senior Ryan Carr on scoring a hat trick on senior night, and Eric Dahl for earning his first hat trick of his career. Good job, guys. Last highlight for you is Point Borough girls basketball, in desperate need of a nice win, traveled to play Jackson Liberty. There, they picked up a win. The Point Borough girls basketball team was hungry for a win, and they found it on the road against Jackson Liberty. The Panthers proved the better cat, beating the Lions 50-32. Jackson Liberty scored the first points of the game, but a small 7-0 run gave Borough the lead. After a Lions timeout, they managed to tie the game at 7. But Allie Delaney drains a 3, and Allie Lassen adds a layup to keep Borough ahead 12-7 after 1. The second quarter was slow for both teams, but Borough stayed out in front. Kayla Turgis hit a 3-pointer that put the Panthers up 8 at the half. Borough did just enough in the third quarter to stay ahead, but really ran away with the game in the fourth and final quarter. Lassen, who totaled 26 points for the Panthers, could not be stopped at the rim. On the other end, she provided Borough with rebounds, pulling in 15 by game's end. Head coach David Drew then put in his bench players in the final minute of the game, and they helped close out the big road win for Borough. I didn't put all of her points in that highlight, but Allie Lassen scored 26. That's right, more than half of Borough's points in that win. A very nice win for the Panthers. A very nice job by Allie Lassen. That's it. That's all I've got. No more highlights for you guys for this week. But as I always tell you, there's more in the actual newspaper. So make sure you pick up today's Ocean Star. That is February 3rd, 2017. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at Dom Polio. That's at DOMPOLLIO. Updates, scores, NLI signings. A lot of that happened this week. Also in the newspaper. But I just want to thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the show. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a big week of sports for Point Pleasant. And there will be more to come next week. So, signing off for Star News Group, I'm Dominic Polio, wishing you a happy weekend.